back in another video. We're going to be going over the new MLB update. Now, make sure to go ahead and join my group. I'm going to be giving up all of the best underrated guys to buy throughout the year, but I'm also going to have like a top 20 list coming out probably soon. You just search up my name, same as my YouTube, Copious Highlights. Go here. You go to my bio. It says Copious Investments. Click that. Join the group. We also have a Karma one, and I'll put the trade group one in there too if you want to join that. But out of all those three, make sure to go ahead, join Copious Investments. We're going to have all your best buys and all that stuff going on in there. It makes it a little bit easier. You can just switch tabs or whatever, or you could, just copy, paste it, put it on a monitor or something, a laptop, whenever you, are doing this. But MLB, yeah, we got the MLB details came out 14 hours ago from the time of me recording this video. And hey, we got a lot of big changes for this update. Starting off with the times when these cards come out. March 26th, everyone's saying it's going to come out on the 27th. I said, you're stupid, because why would they ever have the cards come out they always have them come out at night. Why would they have them come out the night of, the day and the night when all these games have already started? Like, the first games, because its opening day is the 27th, so on Thursday. This is Wednesday. I'm like, that made no sense. People kept saying it. It's a whole thing. I just got super annoyed because I had to deal with all these people spamming me, messaging me saying, hey, when do cards come out? Like, bro, I'm telling you, it's either going to be 25th or 26th, and you keep saying the 27th, just shut up. But, yeah, if real pro members, they get that little bit of boost. I'm a real pro member if you are too. If you buy, like, the best, most popular guys right off the rip, which I don't really recommend this year, you're going to get a bunch of Raxs back, just especially from card holder, plethora, card holder, goals, hitting, and but the thing is, you can only earn up to 200 Raxs off each card at base level, which is like the gray. You can only earn back your Raxs, so it's not really worth it because they are boosting Raxs, as they say. Player earnings will be increased compared to last season. And last season, they weren't really that bad. I'll say, 162 games. You had Shohei Ohtani making, 2,000 Raxs over the course of a year. And that was, not even including playoffs. He just made, almost 2,000. So, same thing with, Judge and, Brent Rooker. Didn't make that many, but he still made a lot. Schwarber made a lot. A lot of guys made way over 1,000. So, it'd be like that. But you're going to be able to get, if you want 100 players, it's going to cost you 20,000 Raxs. If you want 5 teams, it's going to cost you 4,000 total, 24,000 Raxs, which is really cheap compared to years past. But they have the whole cap thing. And I think you click here, and I'll go to copy link. Hopefully I don't have anything crazy going on in my search bar. And let's see how this looks. Alright, so they're basically doing it how they're basically adding the on this day caps to the season cards, and on this day has always been a pretty cool thing. I don't think it's a cool thing, but I think it's a pretty good way of on this day working for the caps. So for example, these are all the caps. So a general is 200. And the team/fighter, which is for UFC, is 800. So basically, you don't upgrade a card at all. You'll be able to make back the Raxs that you spent on that card, but you won't be able to gain any Raxs. So, to get him up to the next level common, it takes 10 points or whatever you want to say, play card points to get him up to that. For players, it's obviously I think it's 30 for team, and then 60, 150. 300, and then a lot more. But I'll say this, it's gonna be really good for you just to go spend on 5 teams. I don't recommend doing the Dodgers. I don't recommend doing the Mets, the Yankees. The Yankees aren't even gonna be that great this year. I don't think they're gonna be that good. They the Adam Max Fried, Cody Bellinger, and Paul Goldschmidt, but they ended up losing Garrett Cole to injury, and then they also lost Juan Soto, and they lost Gleyber Torres, so I don't really think they're going to be that good or anything like that. But they also had Devin Williams, who's a pretty good relief pitcher, but they shaved his beard off him, and then they changed the rule 10 days before spring training, so Feel bad for that guy because that guy had a killer beard, but that's not the point. But I think guys like Shohei are gonna be so hard to get to rare because if you think about it, you're getting that like 1.2, 1.4 boost. So you're just gonna get the racks quicker, especially if they're increasing earnings, making it like so they earn more. It's just gonna make it so you hit that cap way quicker. And to get to uncommon, like uncommon is not very hard. You got to get like 30 player points or play card points, but rare's like what, like 60 or 50, and then you got to go to 100 after. So I think getting it to rare is like rare and epic are gonna be a pain for a guy like Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and especially just Dodgers team card as a whole. Like, I mean, people are really gonna be stingy on trading even relief pitchers from the Dodgers or just players who aren't even that good, because when you look at the team card as a whole, if you having that thing boosted up, and it's probably going to be making a lot of racks because I bet they're going to win a lot of games, and I bet they're going to win a lot of games by quite a bit of runs. You know, I think if you can get them to rare, which is 2x, you should be good. But you're probably even going to get it to epic at some point, which is a 2.5. So it's not going to be easy, right? Dodgers can be really hard. And the thing that makes this even harder is they don't have the auction house dropping with this update. There was rumors it would drop with this update. I messaged John the other day. He said it'd take 2 to 3 more months from when I messaged him, which was yesterday. So you're going to have to be looking at what, like April, what does it go? April, June, August, or April, May, June? So June, I'd say. Probably like June or end of, knowing them, it'd probably be like August or June. So it's going to be a while before this comes out. So these are all the different caps. People keep asking me the caps. Just look at the freaking link, bro. Like, just go copy the freaking link. Like, I get DM'd by 10 people asking me, what are the caps? Like, bro, you should know this shit. But, yeah, I don't know. And, wait, what did that say? What did this say? It says, pro bonus claim. Pro members get a chance at a one additional claim across all sports each day. To claim the bonus, claim the bonus, place your pass on a pick. See, I never knew how to do this. So it said, to claim this bonus, place your pass on a pick. The winner, pull it in the game feed, win the pull, and you'll receive the bonus tracks for your card. Losing, you will receive bonus. You won't receive bonus tracks. So it's like a don't win but win sort of thing. Look at the pass icon below. Pulls, double tap. Oh, so I didn't even know you could do this. So I'm very happy I learned this, because people were talking about this and I didn't know about it. So I'd probably be missing out on a lot of racks, but still, yeah, I should know that. But okay, let's go back to the app, and let me kind of give you a breakdown on what I would do for team cards, player cards. So I'm gonna avoid Dodgers at all costs. Even though they're a really good team, I can't get myself to go buy all the best players, and then it'd be impossible to trade for their cards. Now, they do say they will be dropping player and team packs on day one, which I actually enjoy that. They said player and team packs will be available. I also think they will have the yesterday pack, which is a limited pack. So I don't know if they'll drop it, but they did last year and the year before, I believe so. And they do it for almost every sport, I'm pretty sure, except like college football and college basketball. And basically, or no, do they do it? I think they do. But basically, it's a pack where it's cards literally just from yesterday's games, and there will be limited quantity, limited amount of cards. So you have to buy the pack right when it comes out. And I'll show you this pack real quick. It's in NBA. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. And you only get to buy one. And it's usually not as good as just a regular general pack or even a starter pack, I say. The value's not very good on these. But for early on, it's not the worst for MLB. Obviously, if you pull relief pitchers who no one wants, or just pitchers who suck, or even players who suck, that nobody wants, and you can pull really bad play cards out of MLB. You can pull like 0.5s like no other sport. So if you're someone who's broke on this app, I highly recommend not opening this pack. But if, let's say you're me and I have 44,000, 4,300 racks, and I get about an extra 1,000 something a day from on this day, especially MLB, because I have a lot of 6Xs, 4Xs, not 4Xs, but a bunch of 2.5s and stuff like that. I can afford to do it. Other people can afford to do it, and I'm not going to tell you to trade these cards that you get for other MLB cards. I'm going to tell you to trade these for NBA players, NBA play cards. Specifically, I'm going to tell you to go get SGA. I'm going to tell you to go get Jokic, because you're going to get, if you pull Shohei, any good Dodgers player, like Roki Sasaki, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, any of those guys, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, we're talking any of those guys, Tommy Edman, Michael Conforto, you're going to be able to go ahead and trade these guys for, like Cat, Tatum, not 80, he's injured, Devin Booker, even though he's not going to make playoffs, Giannis, you're going to be able to make really good trades for yourself. People are going to overpay for those cards like crazy they did last year. I think I got like 30 Sean O'Malley for like less than 10 Shohei. Yeah, and if you know anything about UFC, that's pretty good. UFC is very valuable for on this day. You get 2 claims per day. You only get 10 cards, 10 fighters. So you get them upgraded a lot. It's very much worth it, and you're not usually going to have an overlap of 3 players. You can, but even then, it's usually you have a guy who just has a lot of fights, lost a lot, but won some. So you usually go with the guy who won more. But I think overall, if you're going to go do that method, just trade those cards. Now remember, player and team packs, you can't trade the cards. So they said they're going to be lowering these packs to 100 to 300 racks. So I think this is a really good change, and I think for certain players where they may have played early on last year, but they may have played last year towards the end of the year. Like, I'm not going to say who, because I'm going to upset someone who is in the chat and has him as his profile picture, but there is a guy I'm thinking right now, and I will tell a few people if you DM me, who may be very cheap for his player pack that will be very much worth it. And I'm not going to tell you who. I think there's 2 guys. But these player packs, if they're close to 100 racks, and you get 3 cards, if I go look at these players, let me go to NBA, and I check, what's this cost? $340, you get 3 player cards, and then don't you just get, let me open one of these. I can open up one of these, I don't even care. I need to get a Tatum anyways, I need him to 1.6. You get a booster in these too, so not the worst thing in the world. But the boosters aren't even really gonna matter. I think boosters are gonna be very less valuable until you get them up a lot more. And yeah. So I think this itself will be very good if Lewis did say they're lowering it to 100 to 300 for player packs. I know he said that, but I think he also said that for I think he also said that for team packs. I could go to Discord and look at it right now, but I have to go through so many messages, so just take it as it is. So these will be better, and remember, these cards will be auctionable whenever the auction house does come out, which will be 2 to 3 months from now. So, you can sit on these, and whenever the auction house does come out, let's say you have Shohei Ohtani. Let's say you're someone who just really wants to grind Shohei Ohtani. I'm not going to say it's a bad idea. If you're really rich on this app and you want to grind Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, particularly one guy, I'm not going to hold that against you, because for on this day in the future, it could be very good. You just got to hope that guy doesn't get injured. But if they don't and they play like how you think they're going to play, it could be very much worth your time. Now, I will tell you guys, this is where I really get into the nitty-gritty of the teams and players I would be buying. I'm telling you right now, you're going to buy 5 teams. You're not going to buy Dodgers, Yankees, Mets. I don't think you're going to want to do that. Maybe one of those teams. I'd kind of stay away from the Dodgers, even though they're going to win the World Series most likely. Reason being, it's just going to be really hard to trade for those cards and, get them. Especially if you're broke on this app, don't recommend doing it. But if you're rich, you can do whichever you want. But still, even if you're rich, it's going to be a pain and a hassle. You're going to have to be spamming trades all day. That's something I don't enjoy doing. I like to do other things, so I don't do that. But what I'm telling you right now is I'd be buying teams like the Diamondbacks, the Rangers, the Cubs, the Phillies, the Braves, the Astros potentially, the Guardians, the Twins, and I'm probably missing some other teams in there, but Padres, Giants. There's 4 teams in the NL West that are really good this year, and I'm telling you, just go buy whatever team you buy, you need to buy their top 5 starting pitchers, potentially their top 6. For example, the Diamondbacks are going to have like 6 starting pitchers you play. Zach Allen and Corbin Burns are going to be really good. They're also going to have Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez in there. They're going to have Braden Pafat, how do you say his last name? Petro or something. They also have another guy who kind of looks like the same guy. It's no, they still have Jordan Montgomery, I think. So you're gonna have like 6 pitchers in there. A team like the Braves, they're gonna have Chris Sale, Spencer Strider will be also making his comeback, and then they're gonna have however you say his name. He's like not Eric Getty, but they have Swabbleback or whatever his name is. He's pretty good last year, and then they also have they also had another pitcher who was really good last year. I just forget his name off the top of my head, but Braves fans, you know who I'm talking about. So they have potential to have like 4 to 5 good pitchers, I'd say. I'd say teams, you just want to look at those teams, pick out your teams. I'd say Padres, I'm low on Padres this year. They lost a lot in the offseason. They didn't really get better. Giants got a lot better. Diamondbacks got a lot better. But they also all play in the Dodgers, conference or division. So they're teams you may want to stay away from because they aren't going to win their division. They're just not going to win their division. They're going to make a wild card, but it's a tough division. I mean, even the Rockies are in that division. They're good, but they can still beat you at times. And I'm telling you, you're going to want to buy like the best top 3 relief pitchers on all 5 of those teams. So you're talking at least 40 player cards you should be buying are 25 starting pitchers and 15 relief pitchers. That's what I would do. The other 60, I would break it down into about 8 offensive players from each team that you buy, maybe 10. I mean, it's only 9, but maybe they have a DH or they bring someone up later on in the year, and maybe someone gets injured, traded, whatever. And I would just leave about 10 spots open. Just for later on in the year you want to buy players. So that's 90 spots we're talking about. 10 you're going to leave open. And now these last 10 spots, I'm going to tell you, are guys who maybe you're just your favorite player who's not on one of these 5 teams you buy. And then also a guy who you see being a really good player who's not like on a good team. For example, we could do Lawrence Butler, Brett Rooker, both on the Athletics who now play in a minor league ballpark. I like those guys a lot. There's a third guy I'm thinking of right now. I'm not going to say his name because there's a guy who is in the group chat on here, Copious Investments, who has him as a profile picture, and I'm not going to expose his player. Another guy I talk about is like even other pitchers on other teams, like the Tigers are actually a team that looked really good this year. They added, Gleyber Torres. They added relief pitching. They added a lot in their Cole Keith, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green. They all look really good as hitters. And I think also they have Matt Veering, is it, or whatever his name is. He's pretty solid too. But they also had Jack Flaherty. They have Jackson Jobe, who's one of the best minor league pitchers, prospects. He's like a top 2 prospect. And we're talking rookie Sasaki was also in there, and he's just an international free agent. So he's really number 1 who is coming up from the pipeline. He's going to be like the 5th starter starting out on the year on the Tigers, and he looks phenomenally. Talking about Tariq Schoolball, Jack Flaherty, and him also all on the same team. And then they got like Reese Olson, who was pretty good last year. I'm telling you, man, the Tigers have a loaded bullpen, loaded rotation. They look really good on paper, and they looked good last year. I mean, they went to the playoffs and they made some noise. I think they beat the Dodgers one game, if I'm not mistaken. But still, the Tigers are another team you may want to look at. Yeah, I'm just telling you, and even these teams like the Reds who suck, oh yeah. Also, I want to point out this. I forgot to put the Royals in there. The Royals are a team who could be really good this year. I'd tell you, Vinny Pasquantino and Vasquez or whatever his name is, or Malik Garcia. I mean, they have some guys. Jonathan India got added. Salvi, I don't expect him to be as good as he was last year, but obviously have Bobby Wood Jr. They lost Brady Singer. They traded him for Jonathan India, but they still have Seth Lugo. They still have Cole Reagans. They have a lot of young pitchers coming up through their pipeline, so I don't think they're going to be bad by any means. I know they brought back Michael Wacha, who's another solid pitcher, so that's another team I'd look at potentially being like, your 4th or 5th team you buy. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have different lists, but to go for offensive guys, If your other 10 to 15 players, if you're going to leave, another 10 to 5 spots left just for out the year, because you will have players come up from the pipeline, they're like those teams' pipelines, and join the team. I'm a Mariners fan. Ryan Bliss is a guy who's coming up, but we don't know how long he'll stay. They also have, some other guys who could come up. I don't recommend buying the Mariners. Just for any of you listening, they're really poverty. It's hard to watch Mariners, but I'm a Mariners fan, so I'm gonna buy them. But still, I'm telling you, you just want to buy 40 pitchers from those 4 teams, fit 3 relief pitchers from each team, which could be really good this year. We're talking if a closer gets a save, 3 strikeouts, we could be looking at maybe 40 racks earned per game. If these racks are really boosted like they say they are, that could be because they were getting 20 last year. Some of these relief pitchers were getting 20 for an inning pitched. If they're actually boosted, maybe it's 30. 30 is still really good. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Clase made like over 1,000 racks last year, not including playoffs. And Raxs Iglesias and Ryan Helsley both also made like 1,000. So if they actually boost these racks good, relief pitchers could be the meta. And then I'm telling you, buy those 5 starting pitchers because it's just going to make it so you have that constant racks coming in. And obviously you're going to have to upgrade all these guys to common and even uncommon, which is going to be tough. But still, if you're upgrading these teams, that's why I'm telling you, maybe you want to leave even 20 spots open because you don't want to you can just buy the player. And then, you're going to make your racks back, obviously, because it goes to 200 and it caps out. You have to upgrade it. But I'm telling you, just don't buy Dodgers players. Even if you're rich, you can just trade the Dodgers player cards you get, like from packs, for a lot of value. I think it's really going to be very beneficial to kind of fade some of these really popular teams. And I think it's just going to help you out with upgrading the teams you do own and maximizing these racks. And obviously, it's not going to make you as many racks as the Dodgers would if you were to upgrade them and spend all your time on that. But it's called differentiating, however you say it. That's what people do with their portfolios for stocks. They don't just put all their eggs in one basket unless it's the S&P 500 because they're told to by Warren Buffett. It's not the worst thing to do. So I'm telling you, don't put all your eggs in one basket on a team. It's not worth it. It's going to be really hard to upgrade. And make sure to like, follow, subscribe. Check out my TikTok in my bio. That's the only way to make money off social media. So please do that. And yeah, peace.